What if I told you that one single move could completely change the Toronto Maple Leafs season? I'm talking about a move that could save this blue line, shift the playoff race, and finally give this team the backbone it's been missing when it matters most. A veteran, a proven playoff defenseman, a player with elite offensive instincts, and yes, a massive contract. Leafs Nation, things are getting real in Toronto right now. Before we dive into this bombshell rumor, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're a brand new Leafs channel, and our goal is 500 subscribers. So if you bleed blue and white like I do, help us grow Leafs Nation Report. Alright, let's talk about what's really happening behind the scenes in Toronto. The Leafs are back in the playoff race. Let's start with this. The Maple Leafs are officially back. After digging themselves into a hole earlier this season, this team has completely flipped the script under Craig Berube system. Toronto is 7-2 in their last 9 games. 7 wins, 0 regulation losses, 2 overtime losses. With a win tonight, the Leafs could jump into a playoff spot for the first time since October. That doesn't happen by accident. You can see the commitment. You can see the structure. You can see guys buying into Berube's system. Tighter defense, more accountability, more physical play. But here's the uncomfortable truth. This resurgence has come at a cost. Chris Tanev injury, the turning point. The Leafs' blue line just took a brutal hit. Reports are out there that Chris Tanev is seriously considering groin surgery. And if that surgery happens, we're talking about a season-ending scenario. That's massive. Tanev has been one of Toronto's most reliable defensive defensemen this year. A shot blocker, penalty killer, and a guy Baroo trusts in tough minutes. If he's done, the Leafs don't just need help, they need urgent reinforcements. And that's where this trade rumor starts to make a lot of sense. The situation in New Jersey. Over the weekend, New Jersey made a move that turned heads across the NHL. They scratched their veteran defenseman, not because of injury, but because they're actively trying to trade him. This isn't speculation anymore. This is a front office saying, we're done here. The Devils are desperate for salary cap relief, and this player has 2 years left at $9 million per season. That contract is heavy, but the talent? Still very real. The Toronto connection. Here's where things get spicy. According to Nick Kypreos, a respected NHL insider, this defenseman would be willing to waive his no-trade clause to join Toronto. Let that sink in. A player who initially had Toronto on his 10-team no-trade list, now open to coming to the most intense hockey market in the league. Why? One word: Brad Treliving. There's a pre-existing relationship there from their time together in Calgary, and that matters more than fans sometimes realize. This isn't just a random rumor. This is a real hockey connection. Why this move makes sense for Toronto. Now let's talk hockey. This defenseman is 6'6", 230 pounds, and still logs over 21 minutes of ice time per game. In fact, this season he's averaging 21:37, second highest on the Devils behind Luke Hughes. Offensively, he's a legitimate threat from the blue line. Career-wise, he's consistently been a double-digit goal scorer as a defenseman and a major power play weapon. For a Leafs team that struggles when teams collapse in the playoffs, a defenseman who can create offense without relying on forwards is huge. And with Tanev potentially gone, this fills a massive hole instantly. But here's the problem. The cap. Let's be honest, $9 million per year is not happening. According to Puckpedia, Toronto has just under $4 million in cap space right now. So this deal only works if New Jersey retains significant salary, or a third team gets involved, or the Devils wait until the summer. But here's the thing. New Jersey wants cap flexibility now. And Toronto? Toronto might finally be in position to take advantage of another team's cap nightmare. That doesn't happen often. What would Toronto have to give up? This is where it gets uncomfortable. Toronto is already low on assets. I personally do not want to see Easton Cowan moved. Absolutely not. And trading a key young piece for a 33-year-old defenseman? That's a real debate. But ask yourself this: How many more years are we waiting? Austin Matthews is in his prime. William Nylander is locked in. This team is built to win now. At some point, you push the chips in. Should the Leafs do it? As a fan? This scares me. As a hockey realist? It makes way too much sense. If the Devils retain salary and the cost doesn't gut the future, this move could stabilize the defense and completely change Toronto's playoff ceiling. This is the kind of bold trade that defines seasons. Now, I want to hear from you. Would you make this trade? Is the contract worth the risk? Is it finally time for Toronto to go all in? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And Leafs Nation, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe. We're pushing hard for 500 subscribers, and every single one of you helps this channel grow. This is Leafs Nation Report. I'm Victor. And no matter what happens, go Leafs go.